Hi everyone, welcome back to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm Go Local News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us for the 4 o'clock show, kicked off with Jennifer Lawless at the University of Virginia. Now getting a little more local here. Stephen R. Porter with Stillwater Books. Thank you for coming back in.
Glad to be here, thank you.
We'll get an update on the bookstore in Pawtucket shortly, but we have you in here because of the big event this weekend, the Rhode Island Author Expo on December 1st. Give folks the nuts and bolts.
Well, believe it or not, it's our 6th annual. And this year we'll be featuring 135 published authors, all who'll be there selling books, signing books, talking about books, and there are all kinds of other things happening throughout the day, presentations, panels, workshops. It's going to be great.
And we've run the piece to the preview, but getting here the inside scoop. Tell us a little bit about your choice of keynote speakers.
Well, we have two that we really want to let everybody know about. One is Mike Stanton, who has a new book. A lot of people remember Mike for his days with the Providence Journal. Also, he wrote the Prince of Providence, which is the big Buddy Cianci biography. But he has a book on Rocky Marciano called Unbeaten, and he's going to do a presentation for us on turning history into the written word and how that process works.
Have you had a chance to read the book yet?
I have not. No, it's brand new.
Brandy Newey, okay. Mike Stanton and the other keynote speaker?
We also have Lisa Gardner with us. Now, Lisa is a best-selling author. A lot of people might not realize she spent a lot of time in Rhode Island. She lived in Wakefield for a time, and she's been #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list with her thrillers. And she's going to talk about character development and how she creates her characters in her books.
So talk with us, being the 6th annual now Author Expo here, about who comes to the event. Is it people who just love literature? Is it writers? Is it the combination of just everyone interested in everything local writing?
Well, that's really it. I mean, early on, and it still is an event designed for readers, people who like books. It's kind of like walking into a library or a bookstore and having all the authors sitting next to the books while you're in there. And that's really what it's for, is to come in, and it's just coincidentally in the middle of the shopping season. So you can come in and look at the books and talk to a lot of local authors. But the first couple of expos we did, we realized a lot of writers were coming in too. And we started to develop a lot of the programs around as much about the art and craft of writing as it is the sale of books.
Now you said 135 authors.
Right.
How far back do they go? Months saying, Stephen, how can I take part in this event? I mean, that's a big, overwhelming response.
It's incredible. I mean, our association, the Association of Rhode Island Authors, right now has 335 members, all who are authors or about to be authors who live here in Rhode Island. We start taking reservations for our expo in June, and it's usually filled up by the end of the summer. And even as I was sitting waiting to come on here now, I get a text from someone wanting to know if there's any more room for one more.
Can you squeeze in more folks?
We're full, unfortunately. We do have a wait list.
A wait list. I mean, packed to the gills. So, talk about the average visitor experience. As you said, it's like going in and having the author next to the book. Do you find that folks like to kind of mill around and discover new ones? Do they have their favorites? Is it a combination of the both?
People seem to come in and just to take it all in. I mean, it's a little overwhelming at first, so I don't want to intimidate anybody. But you walk into the Roads on the Pawtucket, and it's a big place, and it's full of books and authors. And you go to the first few tables, and you think, wow, this is really interesting, and you realize you still have 132 to go.
You can spend the whole day there.
But you can spend the whole day there easily if you like books. And even this year, we've kind of built in a little children's activity area.
Okay, so bring the kids.
See Santa. Do some activities, and kind of keep everybody involved in it. But if you like books, it's the place to be. You don't want to miss that. Okay,
we've again had this link up before, but give folks the 5 W's. Where, when? We know why.
We know why. Saturday, December 1st. That's this Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Roads on the Pawtucket, right in the middle of Cranston. It's easy to find. Come on in. Free parking, free admission. There may even be a food truck or two there. We'll have presentations all day long on different writing and reading topics, and just come and enjoy the day.
So what's the day like for you? You must be the master organizer, just, orchestrating the day to make sure it runs smoothly. Do you get to go and interact with the folks who are presenting?
We do the best we can. We have a committee of 8 people who have been absolutely amazing. Mike Squartrito is our committee chair, and he puts this whole thing together. So he and I spend the day just zigzagging the floor, keeping everything organized and on schedule. But we look forward to it every year. It's a blast.
And as you said, right during the holiday season, you can give the gift of reading if you make your way over to Rhodes on Saturday. Again, family friendly. We'll be sure to provide that link to the event as well. But wanted to get a little update about the bookstore. We had you in here before the bookstore. Stillwater Books launched in Pawtucket. We'd like to know how things are going. Talk with us about the events. Talk with us about the community.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we opened, as you know, on March 1st. We had our big grand opening in the spring, and we've been extremely well received by the city and the community. It's been a blast. We had our heart broken by the loss of the Paw Sox, who were supposed to, the Apex building is literally 100 yards from our front door. You know, so that's we're still kind of in recovery from that. But the community loves the fact we're there, and we're one of the few independent stores that carry not just we carry lots of different things, but we just carry over right now 250 different books from Rhode Island authors that you just can't find anywhere else.
And you know, how important is that, especially again to these local authors who are looking to get their books out in front of people, to have that local support and have that local opportunity to showcase and not have to get kind of lost in the jungles of the Amazon, if you will.
Well, for writing a book is a very solitary experience. For some writers, you might be working on that book for literally for years, alone, by yourself, and then you suddenly emerge and have to do all this public stuff to try to promote yourself. And you also tend to be an expert in whatever it is you write about, not an expert necessarily in the publishing industry. So you're up against two big problems when you finally have that book completed. So having bookstores that are open and welcoming, where the big chain stores, those that are left, are not. But having those stores that are open and welcoming to local writers and local readers is a huge help and a huge boost for them. And then doing anything we can to do events, signings, readings, to help ease their way into that kind of that marketing part of it that most writers don't want to deal with. That makes a big difference too.
Any plans for 2019 just to keep the momentum going, or what can we expect?
I'm not sure. Right now, with the association, we just keep growing. We're at as I mentioned, 335 members. We've got our new anthology that just came out, Short Work, which we'll be selling at the Expo. We're just looking for more ways to get involved in the community and more events we can do, more activities. And we're just slowly kind of eating away at the arts community to let them know and realize that, yes, writers are important. We exist, and there are a lot of us.
And they're right here in Rhode Island, and you can see 135 of them this Saturday at Rhodes at the Pawtucket. And then again, we'll have a link to that Rhode Island Author Expo as well. So Stephen R. Porter with Stillwater Books, I appreciate you taking the time to come in today.
Welcome. I appreciate you having me.
Talking right to viewers. And don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back here in the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center.